Hello and welcome to the MaryLee Herrmann Show. I am writing a solo performance piece for the stage. You may or may not know that. I know I've referenced it in previous episodes. However, a friend recently asked, I've been wanting to ask, what made you decide to write something for the stage when you are a filmmaker? And I didn't really have to give it even a millisecond of thought, because the truth is, I didn't decide. My show decided that for me. I didn't wake up one morning and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to write a one-woman show. That's what I'm going to do today. The way it really unfolded was I was in LA at the time and visiting my sweetheart in Colorado, though. I was going to be there for a month, where I am now. And he's a cinematographer. And I thought, I'm going to be here for 4 weeks. We should shoot a short film. We should make something. Certainly between the two of us, we could make something in 4 weeks. He's like, well, okay, if you come up with something, you put it together, and sure, I'm in. I'm there for you. Well, nothing was coming. I sat down and was just like, oh my gosh, okay, what am I going to write about? Or I wouldn't sit down. I'd be like, all right, just going about my day, doing things that had nothing to do with sitting down and writing, thinking, okay, an idea will come to me. When an idea comes to me, then I'll sit down and write. Well, a whole week into that, now 7 days of that month have gone by, and nothing's happened. And it takes a little while. Once you even get a script written, you have to tweak it, and then the logistics of making a film and setting that up. So I finally decided, okay, you better sit down and write something. Just write something, write anything, whatever. I gave myself that little bit of freedom. Well, when I did sit down and I started to write, I could not get anything to come into my head, into my heart, onto the page in film script form. It was all coming out in just this me telling a story. So I thought, okay, just tell this story. It's actually a true story. It's based on part of my life. And I thought, well, just write this all out, however it wants to come out now for the moment, and then you can put it into a script form. 18 pages later, I thought to myself, after I read it, a very emotional piece, and I thought, this doesn't feel like a film. Okay, I must just be too involved. It's too personal to me. So I'm going to have my sweetheart and another filmmaker friend of ours, I'm going to have them look at it, and they'll be able to say, oh yeah, we can make this and just do this and cut this or whatever. Just some sort of outside input to help me look at it in a movie form. Well, they didn't. The three of us got together, and as we were sitting there, we just realized, after they'd read it too now, something told us this is a one-woman show. This is a solo performance piece. This shouldn't be pulled away and pieces put into a script or anything like that. That's not how it was meant to be. I had to kind of come to terms with that, because I'm like, well, I am a filmmaker and I've performed on stage. Other than that, though, I've never written or directed anything for theater. So I found it interesting that for some reason this was how this story came out of me. And as much as I struggled with it and I fought it, I just kept thinking, no, I can make this a movie. I can make this a movie. I realized that I was fighting the wrong thing. I was fighting to keep myself in a lane. I was fighting to be categorized as a filmmaker. I was fighting to be I was fighting this piece to be something it wasn't. So once I finally gave into that and would rehash in my mind and just kind of honor the things that the three of us had spoken about, and I'm reading the piece again, I realized that it is a one-woman show. I have no idea what that entails. I've seen a couple one-person shows, and I've seen, some segments from some on YouTube here and there, but really I had no idea what that what putting on a solo performance show, well, creating it to begin with, but then putting it on, what that meant. And I think that may be part of what the fear was, why I struggled. I know how to make a movie. I mean, I know the people to ask if I need to know how to do something. I know film crew, I know people. Those are the people I know. And so it was just amazing, though, that once I gave in to that and owned that I was writing a one-woman show, a solo performance piece, how much it just, well, the tension went out of it. There was still a little bit of nerves about like, okay, I don't know what this means, but okay, story, you have told me that this is what you're meant to be. This is how you want to come out. This is what you are. You're not a movie, maybe down the road, but for now, this is what you are. So I've decided, after having that conversation with my friend about the piece telling me what it was, I know, I'm going to take a look at other parts of my life, because I wonder if there might not be other areas that I'm forcing, that I'm pushing, things that I'm like, well, no, that's not me, this is me, because that reluctance to really spread my wings more. You know, when you look at it, it's a growing. Through this writing one person show, I'm growing. And so it doesn't mean I'm not a filmmaker, and it doesn't mean that I don't own the things that I've acquired in the past from being in that community, in that world. It only means that now my world's going to get a little broader. And instead of looking at that in a fearful way, I'm going to own that and look at other parts of my life and see if maybe that there might not be some areas that I could broaden my perspective and broaden my eyes, broaden my heart to be more open to other things instead of trying to cram myself, my world, my soul into certain areas just because those are safe. All right, well, thank you for watching the MaryLee Herrmann Show. You have a great day.